Yeah, I want to be an elector, though, because if I'm an elector, HRE's never going away.
Unless, of course, you
Yeah,
ally with the
good
Emperor.
luck. Siege down my capital.
Yeah, that would be a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many questions like, what are you doing when you started selling stuff? It's like, are you moving to Ireland? Are you preparing an exodus to America? And then someone pointed out, it's probably a pirate. It's like, it's a pirate.
Pirate.
Pirate England. That's going to be mean. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you do with that in the future.
Oh, I'm going to win.
Probably. You know what? I am shocked that no provinces have fallen yet. Like, none of the victory condition provinces.
Yeah.
Not a single one has gone yet.
I'll probably move for Hjelra eventually.
That makes sense. I mean, you're probably going to have some competition with that, and I don't know how Austria would necessarily feel about you taking Hjelra, or France for that matter, or possibly even Sweden.
Sweden would probably have a problem with it.
I would think so.
But I can just raid them.
I'm going to out-Viking the Vikings. Yes!
Yes. Exactly.
Now you know what it feels like. Ah! Very good. That was a lovely move.
Right.
Like, watching that was a pleasure. From the early, like, what are you doing, to the, that was nice.
That's like everything I do, though. It's always, what are you doing? Why are you fighting Russia?
Yeah, that's true. Oh, the war between Muscovy and Poland was a joy to watch. Man, that was close.
Oh, I'll have to watch the VOD for that.
Yeah, there have been two really big wars. We've had the Muscovy-Poland war and then the Manchu-Oirat war. Both have been really, really good.
Yeah.
Anyway, I need to go and talk about a few things happening to Hungary right now, so see you later.
Yep. See ya.
So that was Val, the new captain of England, having proven themselves really quite tremendous when it comes to shenanigans and madness. Meanwhile, we have got the Ottomans going after Hungary. Hungary is allied to Austria. Castile, Portugal, England and France are at war with the Ottomans. Although that's for Granada specifically. The Ottomans are not a co-belligerent. And then the Ottomans fighting against Albania, Hungary and Moldavia. Austria not in the war. Because the Ottomans attacked Albania. This is not actually for Hungary. So the Austrians were never called in. I don't know if the Ottomans are actually going to be able to take anything. They'll certainly be able to take the Albanian territories. Here's the big question. Skanderbeg, are you still a thing? No, they've lost Skanderbeg. Oh, hey, Grugi. How you doing? Yeah, this is a vassal, Danzig, which was actually a really big component in the war between Poland and Muscovy. Like, Danzig actually pulled their weight there. But the really impressive thing, this here is scary. Pirate Republic England. Take a look at that and weep. That's going to be really, really scary to watch going forwards. Is it alright that players are at war with Tunisia? If it's a defensive alliance, yes, they just need to piece Tunisia out as soon as possible, and Tunisia cannot, they can't take anything from them. In fact, I think I'm going to go and remind them. So, for those of you just joining us, we have a player, what's it called? Protection system, and Tunis is supposed to be a player, so their country is currently protected because they are not here. So let's go and talk to those players. Where are they? Who is it? Castile, France, that's going to be you lot.
Out of time.
Oh, exactly. Oh, hello.
Sorry, I just wanted to say that you are fine to fight Tunis. You just can't take anything from them, so peace them out.
Yeah, we're not.
I know.
We just need the war score to take Granada.
Okay, but just piece Tunis out as soon as possible, otherwise you do damage.
Yeah.
By the way, Mordred, look at my leader.
And look at my heir.
Military leader or captain?
Captain.
Good grief!
6-6.
6-6.
That was my result. That was my result from the War of the Roses that I just re-elected with the Pirate Republic a few times.
Gotcha.
And my heir, I got that from a Promising Daughter event.
He's only 32.
Your
I'm
heir.
okay with the average claim because honestly, I had no heir before that.
Yeah, having a 664 is also really good. So we're going to have a very scary Western Europe here.
Yes, we are.
Eastern Europe and Central Europe's going to have to look out.
In a very dinky Castile so far.
So far, but Castile tends to be a bit more of a late bloomer, especially when the New World opens up.
And this Aragon situation is not helping either.
What happened with Aragon?
He's just not dying.
Yeah.
Oh, actually.
6-6, he needs to die.
Yeah, but if he dies soon and there's a Regency Council, you can get the Iberian wedding.
Hopefully.
Really? With the
But
Regency? They do have an heir.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
But,
but that's why. If there's a Regency Council, that counts as well towards the event. Not just opposing genders.
But his old turkey gizzard arse needs to die first.
That is very true. A little shove down the stairs could maybe help with that.
Anyway, I'm going to return to the commentary, so just wanted to point that out. See you later.
Yeah,
Fair
no
enough.
problem.
Hey, see ya.
We have no plans of taking anything from them.
Good. Okay, so we are back in the commentary box right now. So they are going after the Ottomans. I do kind of... No, sorry, they're after Granada, so they're just getting that for Castile. Tunis and the Ottomans just happen to be allied. I wonder if they'd take this opportunity to sink some of the Ottoman fleets, which would help them a little bit later on. Yeah, we do just have 9 minutes left. This patch still allows for 0 Republican tradition pirate republics. Well, they're not on 0, they're on 49. Because when you form it, you have, what, 70 or something, I think? And this especially matters if they are buccaneers, which they are right now, which is going to be generating them some more Republican tradition. So they're not going to be in a massively bad position. Particularly if they take the later reforms. Which they didn't. They kind of wanted the Articles of Agreement for the yearly Republican tradition bonus. If they wanted to keep re-electing. But they've gone for the Smuggler's Haven, which is trade power abroad and Smuggler's Influence. Actually, I'm surprised by that. Am I? I think they might actually have been in a better position to go for privateer efficiency from the Council of Captains. But we'll have to see what England does. Like, I suspect that a lot of England's objective from now is just scaring people. How'd England go pirate with their size? They sold half of their country to France and half of it to Castile, and then bought it all back again once they did it. So England was down to just like this thin sliver in the middle, plus the Pale and the Isle of Man. And they could do it because Calais is coastal. They never had to sell Calais. Meanwhile, Muscovy is going after Novgorod, just consolidating their hold over there. Novgorod has gone and fought against Finland. Sweden has now peaced out against Denmark and Norway. Not sure what for. Maybe money? Because they... Oh no, they took a tiny bit. They took that place, but they didn't take the rest of Skåne. Bleking. I think it's just Bleking. Meanwhile, war over Hungary continues, but I don't think the Ottomans are going to take very much from that. I really do think the Ottomans are mostly after Albania and maybe like the southern slice, but that is not a co-belligerent war. Meanwhile, the Papal States are going after Florence, so the Pope is actually doing a pretty good job of consolidating more and more territory in Italy. Milan, meanwhile, going after Savoy, taking some more territory there, so it looks like Milan and the Pope are going to be dividing Italy between them, although I wonder how Milan is going to feel about Provence being papal. I'm not sure if that's going to be causing them some consternation in the future. It might well do. They took Belusen as well, did they? I don't even know where that is. Oh, there it is. Yes, they did. You're right. And Elfsborg. Meanwhile, other wars. France is fighting against the Ottomans. Muscovy against Novgorod. Papal States against Florence. Ulm. Is Ulm still in their... war against Baden-Trier? I don't know what they're doing. They're not expanding at all. They're just fighting lots of wars. And this is another war they've started. This is actually a conquest. Now, where's Baden? Baden's there, so this might well be a vassalization war. Can a free city have vassals? Because I know as soon as they themselves get another province, they lose their free city status. But they've already got Württemberg as a vassal. And they are a free city. So yes, free cities can have vassals. However, because they are just a free city, they're going to have real problems with Liberty Desire. Right now, Württemberg's only at 31%, but if they take a 2-province minor, which is Baden, that's going to be causing a lot more problems. Multiplayer game I once did was East Frisia, a free city with huge vassals. Interesting. Oh yeah, that's the other thing, is England is now the guarantor of the Holy Roman Empire. England has staked their claims on becoming an elector. How big is Ulm? That's another question. 23 development. I wonder if Ulm is going for one of the victory conditions, which is biggest developed province. Because right now that belongs to the Papal States with Roma. Second place would be Milan. Then third place would be Cairo. Mamelukes coming in with a lot of victory conditions. And actually, just before we end here, let's go through and take a look at them all. Or we could actually do this right at the end of the stream. You know what? Let's do that. We'll go through all the victory stuff at the end of the stream so that the players also know where they stand. Meanwhile, over here, Manchu not doing very much. Oirat being rather more quiet. Probably working to pay down a bunch of... They've already done it. Are they bankruptcy? I bet they've bankrupted. Yes, they have. So they're going to be bankrupt for another 3 years. So Oirat's vulnerable for 3 years. And Ming may well come knocking, though I somewhat suspect that Ming's going to be in a couple of financial difficulties. No, Ming's also debt-free. Ming is recovering. Only 19 mandates still because they don't control Beijing. But they're coming back. Meanwhile, Hosokawa is at war with Hatakeyama. So the two big guys in Japan fighting each other. Ashikaga, I think, are still the shogun, right? Yes, they are. I wonder when the beatdown is going to happen, because that's going to be fairly soon, I suspect. Particularly if Hoshikawa beats Hatakeyama, then that's going to be a big deal. And Ashikaga is going to really struggle. I mean, part of the reason I struggled so much when I was Tsushima is Ashikaga owned the other half of Japan, which really caused a lot of problems for me. Meanwhile, Poland is also at war with somebody, so let's go and take a look at the Polish. Poles are at war with Bohemia, Salzburg, and Memmingen, so the Poles are starting to move into the HRE. I wonder how the Ottomans feel about that. The Ottomans currently being in a war against Savoy, Florence, and Ferrara, probably assisting the Papal States in their war. So not as yet making any moves against the Poles going after Bohemia. And this is a direct war... Oh no, this is Brandenburg going for Bohemia. Okay, so this is keeping the turf within the HRE. It's just Poland happens to be helping them out with it. And 20,000 Bohemians currently sitting on Poznan. Where's the Polish army? There aren't very many of them. Poland's army is just down to 11,000 men, which is going to be that whole stack. So they will struggle with that unless, of course, Brandenburg comes in. But this is Brandenburg's war, so Brandenburg should be the ones who are paying for this. Then we have Mamelukes currently in a war against Venice. Mamelucan conquest of Crete. Interesting. This is, of course, a very major source of Venetian wealth because they're able to use it to pull a lot of the money out of Alexandria and into Ragusa. And then because they have that in Ragusa, they have the trading post, which means they can pull more money. Sorry, out of the Ottoman territories, not Alexandria. Alexandria's direct. Which is going to allow them... What does this do strategically for the Mamelukes, actually? I'm not sure it does very much. Except for the opportunity to beat up Venice's galley fleets. But I'm not seeing very many Mameluke fleets. Unless they're in the Red Sea. Or they've been sunk, which is also possible. Alright, was at the bottom of that. Galleys. 0. So it looks like the Mamelukes have actually lost their fleet to the Venetians, so... Bit of a miscalculation there, considering the Mamelukes are actually in first place in terms of fleet size. Oops. Meanwhile, wow, Bahmanis have done a little bit of damage to Vijayanagar here. Andhra have grown. Mysore have grown, which is nice to see. Mysore really struggle sometimes, even though they're one of the more powerful Indian states. They're just so small. Malacca has not really grown very much. Pasai and Sayak, I'm guessing, are still their allies. Yes, they are, and Brunei as well. Morocco's at war. Who's Morocco fighting? Morocco is currently at war with Venice, Lucca, and Ragusa, probably on behalf of the Mamelukes. So I wonder if the Moroccan navy is coming in to help. 20 ships against 2. So the Moroccans still have a navy, although only 2 of them are galleys, 2 heavy ships. I still suspect that the Venetian fleet would win that. Cyprus is being occupied by Lucca at the moment. Bahmanis could turn into a monster. They really could. Particularly once they've taken out Vijayanagar, then their only real threats are going to be probably Jaunpur and maybe Delhi. Bengal's been suffering against Orissa, otherwise Bengal could. Gujarat tends to just be a money bags rather than a real power. It's going to be Jaunpur. Big fight will be between Bahmanis and Jaunpur, but if Bahmanis have the whole of south of India, that's going to be less of a problem. I think Bahmanis' problems are going to start when Oirat moves south. If Oirat goes into Chagatai, then Bahmanis is probably going to be looking at that with some concern. And we should be ending right now, so I am going to start moving the players into the general chat. So excuse me while I say hello about a million times. Hello, 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 whoops, hello, 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 hello.
Hello.
Anyone
Hello,
have
hello.
about
Hello.
Hello. Moving everyone into single
Hello.
chat. Hello, hello.
Yep.
Hello, hello,
Hello.
hello, hello, hello.
Yeah.
This is the end, by the way.
I was pulling everyone up.
I am indeed pulling everyone up. Hello, hello. Hello,
Hello.
hello, hello.
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 Aragon, why won't you die?
Okay, so that's everyone.
Oh my.
So, great first session there, guys. Very, very much enjoyed watching that. The big war between Muscovy and Poland was one for the ages, and then
Oh yeah, that was so
Oirat
much fun.
versus Manchu.
and then on top of that, England going pirate,
Yes,
thanks to careful planning beforehand from us.
that's definitely
There's
going to have
the-
some ramifications in the future.
You also saw England going and joining the Holy Roman Empire, and the Holy Roman Empire making sure North Italy would not leave. So that's happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, I thought I would do a quick scores on the doors just so we can see how everyone is doing. So in terms of top income, first place we have the Mamelukes, second place we have France.
Hold on. Why are we on pause? Why are we on pause? Hold on,
Because
guys.
we were going to the tick of the month.
Okay.
Then
It's 1st of January.
third place we have Bahmanis. In terms of highest development province, first place we have Roma, belonging to the Papal States. Second place Milan, belonging to Milan. And then third place Cusco. The Inca actually coming in on the scoreboard. That's awesome.
Wow.
Hey!
Yes.
Then military
Lies.
rating.
Lies.
First place we have Bahmanis, who have really been showing some military might, beating down Vijayanagar. Second place we have the Mamelukes. And then third place we have Muscovy. Then in terms of naval, I was expecting the Mamelukes to be winning the naval thing, but they just took an absolute trouncing by Venice. So in first place
Yup.
we have England, second place Morocco, and then third place Portugal. And then in terms of the 7 province ownership, Scotland still belongs to the AI. Tortuga still uncolonized. Helra still belonging to the AI. Rhodes still belonging to the AI. Vatamandri still belonging to the AI. Tsushima. I'm amazed that Hosokawa did not take Tsushima. It's sitting right there next to you. How have you not taken this yet?
I don't honestly know where you're looking at the moment. Oh, you want about that?
Still belongs to the AI.
Oh my god, he's still going on about that. Oh, Lord.
And then most importantly, Turhut. Also
you-
unconquered.
You forgot
That's
Gotland.
fine.
Gotland's still unconquered as
No,
well.
he did say
I
that.
said Gotland.
He
Yeah, that
said
was
Went
the
down
first
first.
one he said.
But anyway, great game for the first session. I will tally up the scores once we're done here. I'm going to go and get something to eat and then do it later this evening.
I'm actually surprised I'm that high on the income because I was taking an atrocious problem with my economy helping England with his plan.
What's an income?
we were joking the whole time that like what you should have just done was you should have just never given it back.
Oh,
just
you all should have did the
right
ultimate
there. Just
backstab.
done them. Just nuke them right there.
Yeah, but
Just fucking gut 'em.
he was.
That would have been
They
funny.
were counting
Horrible, but funny.
on one of the people not back who, if they backstab, the other person helps them out to defeat them.
And then you
Yeah.
both backstab him.
Still, y'all would have been cool if y'all done it.
I'm
Now you're
I'm
just
too nice. I'm too nice. I'm too nice. We know this from how I played Sweden. I'm too nice. I'm too passive.
I almost just bailed because it was taking way too long.
It was a long fucking time.
That
would have been cool if they had killed
Alright.
Muscovy.
Oh,
I
it was such a
like I
good
said,
war.
next weekend I will not be able to host because I will be traveling home for Thanksgiving.
Yes, next week we're not playing anyway because it's Thanksgiving. I know that a bunch of people won't be around. So no stream next week. We'll be resuming the week after.
Wait, next weekend's not Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so the weekend after is actually the weekend after Thanksgiving. It's closer. I'm just going home beforehand, so I won't be.
I thought Thanksgiving was next Sunday, isn't it?
The 28th in the
It's
US.
a Thursday, Margaret.
Oh, yeah.
November 28th.
I can host if we still want to do it.
Well, that's up to you guys. Do we want to play next week and then not on the 1st of December? Like, when do you go home? When do you do family stuff? I don't know. It's not a thing.
Family?
I don't do family stuff. I live in Canada.
As the representative of the Chins, family is everywhere and anywhere. So like, don't worry about
it. No, but seriously, I need to know because I need to tell chat when we are streaming next and when we are not.
I'm fine with streaming next 2 weeks.
I'm fine with doing both days. I just won't be able to host the week. I'll be able to play. I just can't host on my laptop.
I'll be okay with that.
Okay, so Val, do you
I'm
mind
in.
hosting next week then? If Helson sends you the save. Okay.
Okay.
Great. So we are playing next week. We are playing the week after as well. Apparently, we'll decide at that time.
Mordred, I'm curious. How did you expect that PLC Muscovy war to go down?
I expected pretty much what happened, actually. I don't want to say too much, because I know a couple of things which probably aren't known by other players. I expected Poland probably to be able to take a couple of provinces, but I was expecting it to be close, because I know how ridiculous Helson is at fighting.
That was it was unfun. That was not fun.
We both had vassal problems.
Oh yeah, my vassals were stuck in Western Lithuania. His were just in Finland.
Yeah, I saw that Lithuania was doing jack.
I was so upset.
Was only in one battle.
Anyway, I'm going to close the stream off here. So thank you everyone for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed this, and thank you everyone for playing. If you want to join in the game in the future, then please do hit us up on Discord, which you will find a link appearing very, very soon in chat. If someone could link that, that'd be awesome. All the information you need is in the multiplayer information tab or in the community multiplayer tab. If you want to choose a country, you're free to. You can choose any country that's not already being chosen. Just let me know, and I will put you into the game. If you want to see more of this kind of content, I do have the previous 2 community multiplayer games up on YouTube, which is at youtube.com/Mordred Viking. And I do also have Discord, which we already talked about. Oh yes, Patreon. If you want to support the channel financially, you can do that through Patreon, or you can become a Twitch sub here on Twitch. We will be back again next week, same time, 3 PM until 6 PM. I also want to say that Grugi, who is one of the Paradox guys, is doing a multiplayer game which he is streaming at 8 o'clock this evening. I'm guessing that's Stockholm time? Is that Stockholm time? In which case that would be 7 o'clock, so in an hour time. Dan has just done a shout out to that, so go check out that stream. Those are always wild. I have been hosting those in the past, so go take a watch. Anyway, that's going to be it from me and from the rest of the players, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
I definitely had a lot more fun this first session than last session.
And remember,
Aragon.